Okay, friends, so we are going to be making a model to kind of review and show the features that we've talked about on South America, just like we did on North America before. So the first thing in class is we'll get our paper that shows South America. And if you're home, I attached a picture of it, or if you want to just make a rough outline and kind of show the shape of South America. Um, there are three different geographical features that we want to make sure we know on South America. However, I would like for us to also label the equator. So the equator runs across the top of South America. This little indentation here is pretty important reference for our things that we're doing today. The equator runs right above that. And so I'm just going to do, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to kind of do a line across. Make sure I like where that is with my pencil before I take over with my marker. I'm going to label this. So if you remember, the equator is that line that runs around the center of the globe or the earth. It is horizontal and it's kind of like a belt around the center. And one of the things that we know about the equator is that all of the area around the equator, it's very hot and humid. And as you travel away from the equator towards the poles, it's going to get cold and drier. So that just helps us kind of know the kind of climate we're dealing with in South America. We're near the equator. The amazing thing about South America, though, is it also travels down close to the poles. And down here, it's a very different climate. Up here, however, there's a couple things that we're going to want to label. So one of the things that we're going to be labeling is the Amazon River. The Amazon River starts in this little notch right here. And it travels just kind of a little meandering down and across. And it kind of stays center right there from that line. So in class, in home, you can decide how you want to label this. Now I'm thinking about it now, I probably should have done this one last. So you may decide that you want to add this one a little bit later. But we're going to just add our Amazon River with some glue glitter. I'm going to go dump this over the trash can. Now, one thing to remember about the Amazon River is that it runs centrally through the Amazon rainforest. And so that space is going to be up here, and it kind of goes up towards the top, not all the way to the edge, and then not all the way to the outside. It kind of drops down a little bit and then comes right back up to the start of the river. So I'm going to kind of give you that space a little bigger. How would you like to mark? I think I'm going to make it, for me, I'm going to do some slanted lines and just show that this whole area is the Amazon rainforest. I need to make sure I label that. And then we have another label here. Make sure you can see those two labels. So I've got one pointing to the river and one pointing to this area that I've marked off. And I was thinking that it might be fun to add a couple trees because the Amazon rainforest isn't a very bountiful forest. Lots of growth, lots of trees, lots of animals, lots of bushes. And so I just took some brown paper and cut out some tree trunks. I'm going to make my little fold, and then I'm just going to take and put a little greenery on the top of it. So again, this is just how do you want to make it so you're representing that this is a forest. So it may be that you just draw some trees. It may be that you just decide to use those lines. whatever helps you remember. And so I'll add a few more trees to that, and you can kind of see my trees standing up there. So my goal is to add a few more trees inside of the rainforest. So we needed to make sure we knew where the Amazon rainforest is. We need to make sure we know where the Amazon River is. And then the last main feature that we need to remember are the Andes Mountains range. And if you remember, the Andes Mountain range runs the whole west coast of South America, almost to the top. So I'm just going to start by marking. And you can see kind of where the rainforest comes up to the mountain range, but doesn't go into it. And it goes all the way down. And just like we did in North America, I'm going to show the mountain range by cutting out. I've decided to go ahead and use triangles. You could use the sloping mountains again. It's up to you. And I'm just going to make my little folds. And I'm just going to build a mountain range all the way up the west coast of South America. So I've got lots of little triangles here. I've got some more trees that I'm going to add to my rainforest. So have fun with yours at home. Like I said, you can print the picture I sent you, or you can just draw an outline and then make sure that you put the equator, the Amazon River, the Amazon rainforest. Oh, and I need to label this. I will continue to build that. The Andes Mountains. All right, great job. I think I might add my compass rose. Can't wait to see your creations.